glutes are super sore that I don't even want to bend over. And it's just gonna make you feel really good. Because I don't like the way it feels. You could hold a kettlebell on one toe. I actually hit my head on a couple of them. I truly skull crushed. Ouch. I actually crushed my skull. Hit my chin on the bar on one of them. Whew. Now that my triceps are smoked, I'm out of breath. I need more rest. I don't know if that was enough rest. My chest and tries. That's my bicep. Oh gosh, I couldn't even get the plant. I'm dying already. 998, 999, 1,000. Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. So I am about to hit session number 2. This is an accessory session for me. So I'm gonna be working on some strict pulling work with some pressing, isolating my triceps, and just a lot of upper body. I did lower body yesterday and my glutes are super sore that I don't even wanna bend over. So it's gonna be really nice to hit some upper body today. So come with me to the board and I'll show you what we're gonna get into. So first, I've got this cool weight belt here. So we are gonna start with 5 sets of 5 weighted strict pull-ups. So I'm gonna build up to a heavy set of 5 instead of baseline so we can work off that from the next couple weeks. Then from there, after I do my 5 sets of 5, I'll rest as needed between to make sure I can hit my 5 unbroken. We're gonna go into part B, which is gonna be 4 sets of a superset of tape press and skull crusher. We'll talk about the reps and sets in a second. Then after we superset those for 4 sets, we are gonna go through 3 sets of a banded push-up and a bench dip, and then we're gonna do a finisher with 100 banded pull-downs. So my tricep, my chest, my lats, everything in my upper body is gonna be smoked at the end of the session, and it's gonna feel awesome. I like to hook it twice, so I hook it in a really weird way because I don't like the way it feels. It's gonna fall off. So I take it, I put it through, and I hook it again. Now it's not going anywhere. This also feels pretty good on your back because it's pulling down. So it's a little decompression too. So, you wanna make sure when you're doing weighted pull-ups that you don't have a big jump to get up to the bar. So I always make sure to give myself a little stool or a little box so I can pretty much come onto my toes and reach the bar. When you're doing your weighted pull-ups, I think it's super important to make sure that you're staying super strict and controlled. So thinking about that hollow body position and making sure we're not just dead hanging from the bar, but we're almost doing a little bit of a scat pull-up, pulling our shoulder blades down and back to get set before we start pulling on our pull-up. The other thing is, the number one thing I think I see at CrossFit Polaris is when people are pulling, they leave their elbows really far out in front, and so that's gonna use a lot of bicep. We wanna think about using our upper back. So when I'm doing my pull-ups, I'm thinking about pulling my elbows down and back and squeezing back between my scaps. So I'm recruiting my back muscles and using my larger muscle groups to help me lift my body weight to get my chin over the bar. If you guys don't have a weight belt, you could hook a dumbbell between your legs. You could hold a kettlebell on one toe. You could also do a tempo pull-up. So you can pull up, hold for 1 second with your chin over the bar, and then lower yourself down with a 3-second descent, aiming for 3 to 5 reps just like that for 5 sets. That would be great too. So I'm about to hit my next set. I am up to 30 pounds. I'm hoping to get up to 45 pounds, so a blue plate for 5 pull-ups today. Hit my chin on the bar on one of them. This would be a little bit easier if maybe I was using a kettlebell, but the only kettlebells we have here are 70 and an 88-pound kettlebell, and I'm not quite there yet. So we're gonna give a 45-pound blue plate a try. So I started just with warming up, some scat pull-ups, some lighter sets. Then I went into my 5x5 working. So my goal was to get up to this 45-pound plate for 5. We'll see if I can do it. So part A is complete and I ended with the weight that I wanted. So I built up to 45 pounds and I get a big check mark. So I always like to write everything down, and when I accomplish what I wanted, give myself an awesome check mark because it just makes me feel really good. So next what we're gonna hit is our 4 sets. Tape press with dumbbells. I am using 2 15-pound dumbbells. So I'm gonna focus on making sure that I can complete the movement properly and with good technique before I go up and weight. When we're doing this, you can do this on a bench, you can do it lying down, you can do it with your back leaning against the wall. I'm gonna choose to do it on the floor today. So when I come down for the tape press, we're gonna think about our elbows are flared out, and at all times I'm pushing the dumbbells into each other. So they are creating this force. So when I say pushing in, they should never separate. They're going together and I'm pushing my knuckles towards each other at all times. For the tape press, a good way to think about this is like the heads of the dumbbells are gonna come down and sit right at our center chest. So you can feel your tricep engage. And then I think about almost like I'm trying to keep my knuckles pressed together as I extend, and then I'm coming right back down. So it's a very simple motion, and we're essentially pivoting again from the elbows. So my elbows aren't pressing forward and backwards like a bench press, but I'm just rotating into the dumbbell heads of the chest and then rotating out. Then we're basically changing just the plane that we're working in the skull crusher. So I kept my dumbbells pressed together, which made it slightly more challenging for me. And then thinking about not letting my elbows flare super wide, but keeping those pulled in as well. And again, what we don't want to do is see a lot of movement with our elbow. Think about locking our elbow into place. We're coming down and we're extending. Coming down and extending. And what that's going to do, it's going to isolate our tricep. I actually hit my head on a couple of them. I truly skull crushed. Ouch. Which is the muscle group that we're trying to work. So that way, by the end, I actually crushed my skull a little bit, not really, but I did hit my head a little bit. And that's just because my triceps were starting to fatigue. So that's what we want to feel. We don't want to feel our chest engaging, but we want to feel our triceps fatigue. Now that my triceps are smoked, we're gonna go into some banded push-ups and some bench dips. So I've just got a red band here. I'm just gonna put it around my back and press my palms through the band. So I'll be doing them just like this. What you have to be careful of is that the band rides up and smacks you in the neck or gets caught in your hair. So try to keep that band right in the middle of your back. And then I'm gonna transition onto the bench. This is gonna be 3 sets, max reps. So we wanna make sure that once we finish our bench dips, we take a full recovery so we can try to match as close to our banded push-ups as possible. We'll probably lose a few reps, but that's okay. So let's get started. So much harder with the band. The bench dips after the push-ups are so hard. You can do 2 versions of the bench dip. So we want to just make sure our shoulders aren't rolling forward. Try to keep your shoulders down and back. Elbows staying in tight, so we're isolating our triceps again. On a breath. We can take our legs straight, make it a little bit harder, or bend our knees, drop them straight down, back close to the bench. Again, don't push it. So I maybe could have squeaked out 3 more reps, but I felt like my shoulders were gonna start coming forward and I wasn't gonna be in a great position. So I cut it with my last solid rep. I still got a great pump. My heart rate's elevated. Now I'm gonna rest and do it again. Okay, so now that my triceps are totally smoked, it's time for our Tricep Finisher. So I'm gonna do 100 band pull downs in as little sets as possible. I'm thinking it might be more sets than I'm hoping for because I feel like I can't straighten my arms right now, but we'll see. So while I'm doing these tricep push downs, what I wanna think about doing is I take my hands actually through the band and I'm gonna grab the band. That way my arms are locked in and I don't have to worry about holding it. Then I'm gonna think about pulling my elbows down to my sides, leaving my elbow locked into place right at the bottom of my rib cage. And I'm gonna think about pulling my palms towards my pockets and almost flaring out. So I straighten my arm, coming back up to about 90 degrees, not past, and then pulling my palms and my pinkies towards my pocket with a slight flare out. I wanna do these quick, so as fast as I possibly can, but no cheating by bringing my elbow away from my body and using my lats to pull down. It should be specifically a tricep movement. 998, 999, 1,000. They felt like 1,000. So I actually stood on a riser as well because our band tension's pretty tight and I wanted to be able to hit sets of 15 to 20. Ideally, I even went down from there by the end into a couple sets of 7 and 8 just because of everything I did right before. My triceps are totally smoked. And that's really what we wanted. If I had a lighter band, I maybe should have used that just to make sure I could get that hypertrophy and nice, good, quick lactic buildup with the smooth, fast movement, or with the smooth movement, but also quick is what I'm going for. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. It's an awesome upper body burner. Definitely give it a go. If you do, let us know how it goes. Check out the links in the bio. We offer a killer bodybuilding program that's gonna be similar to stuff that I did today. And it's just gonna make you feel really good. And the fun part is you don't really have to breathe that hard, like when we Metcon really hard. So it's nice to have these accessory sessions, and it's not always those super killer hard workouts that leave you lying on your back at the end, but this stuff is just as important as that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, make sure to drop them below and we'll get those answered for you guys, or whatever you want to see next. Have a great day.